Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae. This is Psych It's Janae, your favorite psychology student in grad school, who is also a single mother of an autistic child. And I am about to just put some makeup on because I'm in the mood to do that. My mom is coming in and my parents are gonna have my son for the weekend, so shout outs to them. But you know what I wanted to talk about today? I wanted to talk about dating as a single mom. Like, yeah, the conversation needs to be had because there's just so much conversation online about dating and requirements and standards and expectations, and men don't do this, women don't do that, and I just have a very different perspective on dating. And as I'm getting older, I'm coming more into myself and really understanding what it is that I want, that I like, what are like non-negotiables for me. I'm 36. I am also a single mom, but at this point in my life, I have a full life, you know, like I've already been independent for many years, being the head of household, being a provider for my family. And so when I think about dating, I've gone through many different seasons of dating, and I'm just going to specifically talk about the season of me dating as a mom. So just as a disclaimer, I want everyone to know I love dating. Okay, I am not like the people who are online who want to pick apart every little thing about dating that they cannot stand. I love dating, and on top of that, to be honest with you, I am very conscious about the things I speak life into opposed to the things that I take like life out of. So I don't like to really be negative on topics. I am very aware that there are experiences that probably will annoy me, or if I'm being honest, things that I probably engaged with that I had no business even being a part of, or things that I've entertained that I should have probably cut loose even sooner. But all in all, I love dating. I love experiencing other people, learning other people, and I love learning the version of me that I can only know or only be exposed to, only be vulnerable in within a romantic or intimate setting. I always try and tell people, you do not know your triggers or trauma in relational conflict until you are dealing with relations. So that is another reason why I love dating, because I like to see those parts of myself that either wake me up and make me notice about myself that I have not noticed before, and just understanding what things that revealing what it is that I require for me to feel comfortable in the presence of someone else. So yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna try and do a regular beat, but like give it a little oomph. I'm using different products, but you know, it's the same method. I'm not gonna do a skin tint today, like a tinted moisturizer. I'm actually gonna put on some foundation. I like to use House Loves, if that could focus. Girl, very good foundation. And I'm using some One Size powder, some Tarte concealer, elf blush, and my regular brushes. And I've already just put on my primer. So what am I gonna do next? I think I'm gonna reverse it. I usually just do enough makeup here and then put the foundation over, but I miss filling my face up with foundation, and I haven't worn foundation in a while, so let's start that. But yeah, back to it. I love dating. I really do. I find that though I am such a lover through and through, like I just no, because we are still this is my winter shade. I need my summer shade, but we gonna blend it out anyway. What I've realized, matter of fact, let's take it back. I love dating, but when I first became a mom, and what I feel like is a misconception about single mothers is that they need help. And not help in a sense of community. Like when it comes to dating, not help in a sense of community, but help like you need to rely on me so that I can help you, because I know you being a single mother is hard. And newsflash, I can't speak for every single mother. I am not that single mom. Okay, I do not need someone to push up in here and try and prove and act as though what they are giving me is what I need to take and what I should feel grateful for, because they know that without it I am struggling. I am not a struggling single mom. Okay, I'm just not. I honestly wouldn't have had a kid if I already knew that I would be struggling. I'm not struggling. I'm just not. I'm sorry, I'm not that type of single mom that struggles. And while I do appreciate having help and having community, I value more having the right type of people around me and my family. So when I go into dating, in the beginning, I just went into it because I wanted some companionship. You know, you get pregnant, you're with the child. For me, I was with my child's father at the time. Things didn't work out. So I had a season postpartum where it's like I wasn't even caring about dating. I wasn't worried about it. I was worried about being a mom. And then I got to a point where I'm like, you know, I miss having male attention. I miss speaking to men. I miss, and this is, you know, obviously after me and my child's father didn't work out, but I just miss that dating scene, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was always a serial dater. I just always dated people. So I took a stab at it just because I also wanted to learn myself as a mom and know what it was that I needed in a relationship being a single mom. And what I come to realize is, yeah, I think there is a very big misconception that single moms need help, that if you pursue a single mom, then they should be grateful for that and they should just take it for what it is. And I, in the beginning, kind of believed that. I believed that I might be damaged goods. I come with baggage. But where I sit right now, no, my family is not my baggage. I am not a damaged good. I'm a damn good parent, and I am a damn good person. And the way I treat myself, I expect someone to treat me better than that, to at least meet me there, or treat me way better than that. And fortunately, but unfortunately, in the dating scene, I treat myself very well. Very well. How I treat my body, how I handle my finances, how I put myself before God and let him lead my way, and just very conscious of how I treat other people, how I show up, how I communicate, being conscious of how I handle myself emotionally, things like that. I treat myself very well. For a long time with dating, I also felt that what I wanted wasn't really attainable, and I feel like there's a narrative, especially in the Black community, where women believe that we can't get the men that we want. Like, oh, for instance, I'm gonna be very transparent, open, and candid. I want a man who can take care of me. And you know what? No, I'm gonna say that over. I want a man with a provider mindset, okay? I find it very hard for myself to fall deeply in love with someone when I am still very much providing for myself, like providing wholeheartedly everything for myself and my family. At that point, I'm just like, what are you doing here as a man? What can you do for me? Mind you, I am still doing for you, but this is just where my mind goes, because for one, I am at a point in my life where I love myself so much that honestly, splitting my time with myself with someone else and feeling like I'm giving more of myself but still receiving less, it's not a very good math equation for me. Like, it's just not. I know how generous I am in relationships. I know how much of myself I give. I know how patient I am. I know how understanding I am. I know who I am in a relationship. I've done enough trial and error. Trust and believe when I tell you, I've dated a number of people because I like dating. So I see it as a research project. Okay, what is What are we trying to solve? We are trying to solve, what do I need to feel like I am in a great relationship for myself? And we're surveying 100+ men. No, I'm joking, but that's just what it's really been. And what I look for in relationships, outside of just being a provider, I think for many of years I kept saying, oh, I want a nice guy, I want someone who can communicate, I want someone who is giving, thoughtful, who has money, who's respectful. But to be honest, I'm saying things like that, and that's just the standard. To date me, you have to come with that, you know? Like, and I think for many years I was using things that should be a standard and making them a priority. Like, if you have money, that prioritizes over that is number one priority over you being kind. No, you should have money. If you're dating, you should have money. Women and men, if you are dating, you should be able to afford to date. And I think that is to say financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. And I'm not saying that you have to be 100% there, like the best version of yourself to date. No, you can date when you are not the best version, but you do have to be conscious of that. You do need to know, what are you inflicting on a partner? How are you showing up in a relationship? You have to be conscious of that if you are not 100% the best version of yourself. But anyway, back to that. I think that I was making a lot of these things I was prioritizing them without realizing, like, no, this is a standard. For me now to date, I now know that, no, the guy has to be kind. The guy has to be able to take care of himself and care about how he's treating his body and everything. He has to have money. He has to have structure. These are not things I'm prioritizing. What I am prioritizing right now is, how structured is he? How godly is he? How is his relationship with his family? Those are things that I am prioritizing. But all the other things that are like, oh, let him be kind, let him be nice, let him be respectful, that is standard. Like, we're not dating no one who doesn't have those things. Like, that it's just, I'm not even entertaining you at this point. And granted, it takes some time to really see that in an individual, because a lot of people, we like to pull up with our mask on and just pretend until we can no longer pretend, which is something I also realized a lot with dating. So my first phase of dating, I think when I became a parent, was just like, I'm trying to find companionship, and then I'm like, I can just be a companion with myself, because who I was running into, I was like, yeah, no thanks. And then when Parker got a little older, around 2 or 3, I'm like, okay, now I really do want to give dating a try as a mom. Like, I want to advocate for myself and let people know I am a mother before I'm anything else. Because what I found was, again, that people just thought, oh, she's a mom, she'll need me, this could be for fun. And while dating should be fun, honey, I got other priorities. I can't be busting around the city with you and just moving around with no intention, no structure, because you bored and we want to have fun. That's not, yeah, I'm not in that space no more, honey. That's not my 20s. You feel me? Like, I have a whole kid at home. I am not bored enough to be doing 24-hour dates with you on a random Tuesday night because you have that much time on your hands. Why do you have that much time on your hands? Why am I even engaging with someone who has that much time on their hands? Like, for me, it's just like, that's not my speed. I like people who really have a full agenda, who are busy, like who really has things going on. They have goals, they're ambitious, and they just don't have that type of time to be playing around with. And, you know, my dating history was getting better. It really was. Like, I was running into better people for sure. But then I also realized I was running into people who don't really necessarily love themselves. Like, they'll be waiting to find someone to make them feel good, to fill in a void, to be like, oh yeah, I'm worthy of this. You should have felt like you was worthy of this before I came along. I hate how like my makeup looks so bad here in this camera, but over here it be looking so fire. But you should have felt worthy before I came along. You should have found that worth at 36. And assuming that I'm dating people my age. But at 36, why are you waiting for somebody to tell you that you're worthy of love? What have you been through? And that's another thing with me. Back in the day, I am a sucker. This is why I'm also in psychology. I am a sucker for trying to make someone feel good, to the point that I would drain myself. I am not afraid to say that, because I have changed, and how I approach things are different, and my self-esteem has increased, and I now know for sure I am not here to make you feel better, honey. Like, I am here to probably amplify the way you feel about yourself, for sure. And of course, I don't want to bring you down. I don't want to be the negative thing in your life. But I'm definitely not here to be the only thing that makes you feel good. You got to feel that without me. You should feel that without me. I don't want to really date someone who feels like they have no worth. It's just not my ministry. And I'm not afraid to say that. But yeah, that's what dating is for me. And right now, what does love look like for me? It's just really about feeling secure and feeling safe. Like, truly don't know what happened to my camera. But yeah, those type of people, I can't, I don't have it for you. You feel me? Like, I don't have it for you to just be the one thing that helps you feel validated, or, you know, be ultra sensitive to what you may find offense to. It's not my job to do that. I am already going to be very mindful of how I make you feel, but I cannot sit here and try and alter things that I say or things that I do in the nature of making sure that I'm not triggering your ultra sensitivity. Like, I'm just not that person. I'm really not. Some people are very sensitive, and I could be around those type of people, but I just can't seriously date those type of people. You know, like, I'm a jokey person. A lot of things that I do and say, I do it jokingly, and I don't think a lot of what I do or say is malicious at all or disrespectful. It's just like, I take life very lightly because I enjoy life. I appreciate life, and I know it is something that is very sacred, very beautiful. So I don't sit here and stress about things that are outside of my control, or stress about things that can easily be changed. You know, like, I don't sit in depression. I don't sit in trauma. I don't sit in any of those things. Am I aware of it? Of course I'm aware of it, but I don't sit in that. That's why I am not heavily drinking or heavily smoking or heavily using drugs. Like, it's just not what I'm into. And I've learned, because I've been entertaining people like that. I've entertained people like that a lot of the time, and it gets me nowhere. It actually just drains me. Like, why is this something that you want to do all the time? You just want to soak. Like, you don't seem like you appreciate life enough to really want to live it. You just want to sit here and be okay with the life that you're living. And I'm over here all joyful, like, let's do this, let's do that, and your energy is just dry. Like, yeah, not for me. Not for me. And then it took me a while to figure out how to, like, set boundaries, you know? I am one who, first of all, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'll be falling in love on day 2. I'm a lover girl, so I'm easy to love, for one. Somebody gonna fall in love with me. I never had an issue with that. But I love you too, and it's because I love life. So it's not so much like, oh, this person is the man of my dream. It's just like, yeah, I'll tell you I love you. It don't hurt me no much. But I feel like we can gain much more saying I love you to people more often, instead of holding our feelings back and just being like, oh, I can't say that, it's too soon, blah, 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 just overthinking it. But I've had my fair share of knowing that maybe you can't do that all the time. So I'm learning my lesson. I am learning my lesson. But I found that I do have to have some boundaries. Like, I think because, one, I do understand easily. I do love easily. People see it differently. They treat you differently. Their intent is not always what you think it's going to be. And it's definitely not always what your intent would be. Like, what my intent is typically, it's just not that. So I've learned to be very careful, or I'm learning, because it is still something I struggle with. I am learning to be careful with how I move in relationships and my pace in relationships, because I typically move very fast. Like I'm like, oh, why are we dragging our feet? Because we want to see if we love each other and we don't want one of us to get hurt. I don't mind getting hurt. That's another thing about me. Some people are very careful about how they feel about things, but I know how to feel. Like I know how to feel. I know how to pick myself up out of feeling certain ways. I know how to move forward, and I gotta understand a lot of people are not like that. So a lot of people are overly protective. But I remember my last relationship, it moved so fast. Like I was just, in the beginning, I was so shocked. Like, this is kind of crazy, even for me, a fast mover. Like, I move fast, but this is kind of crazy. And towards the end of the relationship, I realized exactly why I was moving fast. Like, we not about to skip all the things that you think I should be turning a cheek to. Like, I see these behaviors, I see these patterns, and it's something that I don't think I could live with when it comes to dating. So you just really, I had to set boundaries when it came to things like autonomy over my body. That's for a whole different video. How you can speak to me and how you navigate through relational conflict, me speaking up and when to speak. These are, I'm sorry, boundaries within myself and the person I'm dating too at the time. Like, I had to understand what boundaries look like for me, why they needed to be in place, and when to be vocal about putting them in place. You can have boundaries in a relationship. I did not grow up understanding that. Like for me, I grew up, my parents been married, like, I can't remember time, I think 35 years right now. And no, 45. Whew. Yeah, 45 years. And as an adolescent, you see them as your parents, but then when you grow older as an adult, you realize that they are lovers. They are in a relationship, their own relationship. And how I've always seen love is just like, the way I grew up is, love is something you give. Love is something you are. You are a being. You are love. I am love, and that's how I feel. And I think that's why I'm so easy to go into relationships and feel good about it and moving fast. I don't have no worry about it because I am love. So whatever I'm getting, whatever I'm giving, it is being replenished back. So it kind of takes longer for me to see if I am getting drained, or if I'm feeling drained, if I'm not being treated the way I desire to be treated. So that has been an issue. But now I'm at a phase in parenting where I realize, like, the person who is going to be in my life, they have to be able, willing, and capable of being a provider and a leader for a family, because it's not just me. It's not just me. And that's what I'm noticing. It's not just me at all. Like, I have a family. Shoot, I have a toddler and I have a dog. Like, it's things in this house that I've been taking care of all my life. And to date someone, and yes, we can have fun and all of that, but when we're talking about the future, what does that look like for you? Because I've spent all this time building up what I already have, and while I am willing to see where this goes, I'm not willing to compromise that in a way where it feels like I still have to be the provider for the family. No. If you're gonna be very much in my life, I'm very willing and ready to give up that role to someone else. And that's just what the big takeaway I've learned now in dating for me as a parent is that it's not just me. And I'm also not in a place where I'm dating out of survival. I'm dating to fill a void. Like, I'm not dating because I need to be loved. I'm not dating because I need someone to fix this, and that. I'm dating because I truly want to find my equal. If I'm dating, I want to find my equal. I want to find someone who thinks like me, who moves like me, who is as ambitious as me, who has big dreams like me, who understands how I function, and I can do the same with that person, and we find a way to truly make it work, where all the small things that people complain about, whether someone's respectful, I'm not worried about splitting no damn restaurant bill. I'm not worried, like, because what we are at our core and match, we get each other. We don't even really have to say those things out loud. We get each other. So I'm just really dating for my equal, but I gotta take a break. I gotta take a break because I feel like I've loved so many people who did not feel worthy of love, which is crazy. That's so crazy to me. Like, how do you wake up and tell yourself you are not worthy of love? Child, love though, I feel like that should be given to you for free. But I think that's when you try and hide love from people, you think that it should be something that's earned. Love should be given. Like, we are made out of God's love. That should not be something that's earned. That is just something that should be there. Like, you are loved. People should feel that when they're around you. They should feel safe. And we just lost that. And not just even just black people. I just think humanity. We've lost that. Like, everyone is like so guarded all the time, and it's so effing annoying. Like, why are y'all so guarded but be the same people talking about something? I need community, I need friends. Not with that guard high up like that. I'm not climbing over that fence, please. But yeah, I've dated people who didn't feel worthy. Even back in the day, my worthiness was tied into a lot of like how accessible I became for people. Like, I would feel as though if I didn't make myself available to someone or didn't show up for them, that they would then think that they didn't need me, and then I would then feel as though I am useless. That is how I viewed love, like in my 20s with people. Like, oh, I had to make myself very accessible to believe that I was worth something. Not worthy of love, but just worth something. Like, I stuck out amongst the competition, or I stuck out amongst other people. I am nowhere in that space, just to make it clear. Like, we are not living like that anymore. But that's where I was when I was younger. And then it kind of made me gravitate to people who had those type of beliefs, or maybe it kind of stemmed from being around people who had those type of beliefs. Like, oh, if this person like you that girl, if this person showed you this much attention, it's because they love you. If they showed you this little attention, they thought negative of you. And no, some people just really you can only meet them where they are. They literally don't have the capacity to love in a way that you expect them to, and that really has nothing to do with your worth at all. I think that staying when you feel like you need to leave, or before it becomes detrimental to who you are as a person, determines how much you find yourself to be worthy. But how someone is treating you does not determine your worth. It's if you allow them to keep treating you that way. You feel me? Like, if that makes sense. Like, if people treat you, we like to say the way you allow them to treat you, but most of the time they just treat you the best way they feel they can treat anybody. This is the way they treat themselves. What more can you expect? Like, not to say too much, but Parker's father, like, I've forgiven him so easily because I had to look in hindsight like, girl, what did you expect out of that man? And look at how he treat himself. And I think that's what I take in right now in dating. Like, why would you want to take someone seriously who is waking up at 11 a.m. on a daily? They already 4 hours. I wake up at 5. They're already 6 hours behind you on the wake up, girl. You already 6 hours ahead of them. And if you add that all up for the day's worth, a week's worth, you are ahead of them in life in general of where you want to be. Why would you entertain that person? Y'all are on different levels. You feel me? Like, it's just, we need to really start dating by seeing ourselves and seeing what we want, and then looking at someone else and seeing if the alignment is there. Compatibility. For me, dating is not just about love. That comes easy for me. I know that about myself. That comes very easy for me. Dating is about compatibility. Can't even get the word out. Compatibility. Like, are we compatible? And we don't have to think that every person we meet or see we're compatible with. That's just not possible, because if that was possible, everybody would be in a happy, loving relationship right now. But people, we all just gotten so used to trying to take what we can get and trying to make it what we want it to be, when it's like there's so many options. You do not have to do that. If you don't work with someone, just move on. No love lost, just move on. But I really did have to work on being accessible, because I find that even now, even of recent, whenever I'm in a relationship and I'm really feeling somebody, I make myself way too accessible. And it's so weird, because I feel like that's when I stop thriving. When I'm single, I am thriving, okay? I am working on all the things about myself. I work out better, I eat better, I'm more consistent with my schedule and my routine. I dip into my hobbies way more. Then I get into a relationship and I'm just all about the dude. Like, I'm just like, oh, how can I make you feel better? That's just how I am with people. But this specific year, because I know I have so much to do as a mom in terms of, you know, Parker, his diagnosis, getting him up to his age appropriate levels and really working with him, I don't have space no more to be trying to make other people feel better besides me and my son. And I love that for me. It took me 36 years to get there. But I love that for me. And sorry y'all, hold on. It's been easier too. It hasn't been, one thing I can say about myself is that when I'm not dating, I don't really miss it. You know how people be like, oh my god, like, I think that's what makes a lot of women tired. Like, oh, I've been dating, I just can't find anyone. Me, because I know every time I date I'm gonna have a good time, I don't really freak out when I'm not dating and be feeling like, oh, I'm lonely or bored. I am not bored when I'm not dating, because I have so much to do. That's another good thing dating as a mom. Like, you're gonna always be busy. Like, you're not gonna be entertaining just anything, because you know how precious your time is. Like, when you single, you be doing anything. And when I say single, I mean like no kids. We be doing, when I was single, child, I was dating whatever. I did not care. If the link was tonight and I was available, I was outside. Now I gotta be more mindful of my time and who I want to spend it with, because the more time I'm spending with someone else, the less time I'm spending either with myself or my son. So it's just like, it makes it easier in that aspect. But the big thing for me, the big takeaway too that I'm learning is, I know everyone is afraid of that. Yo, this camera do not be picking up my makeup. I don't appreciate that, because my makeup be eating. It be very plain Jane, but like over here in this mirror it looks so fire, and on the camera it just look like blah. Like, don't do me. But my what I'm learning is that what I want exists. And I think for some, my camera just keep randomly stopping, but I think a lot of people are afraid of the provider word, but I just know that that's what I want, because my plate is already very heavy. I'm not interested in entertaining someone who does not make it feel lighter, or whose intent is not to make it feel lighter. Like, if you already know you're dating a single mom, you as a man should be asking, what am I bringing to this table? This lady already got a lot going on. Like, how can I make it easier for her? If you're not doing that, then and that's what I say, the misconception is like, they think you need them, and they're just like, oh, she'll take whatever. No, do I look like bottom of the barrel? I give you bottom of barrel? I'm not bottom of barrel. I'm sorry if you thought that. Nowhere close. Like, nah. Cause what, you know you dating a single mom, how you just gonna pull up with nothing to give? Sorry, you gotta be a provider. Hello, there's a family already in place. You telling me that if you had your own family, you wouldn't provide? That should be in you, baby. Not on you, in you. But I think for very long, I convinced myself, even outside of being a mother, that I couldn't have what I want. Someone who could provide, someone who is very intelligent, who is very God-fearing, who really knows what they want, who can communicate, who doesn't have much trauma. Because I'm sorry, I'm done with the trauma dudes. It's just like, oh my God, we get it, you got trauma. Like, how many times you gonna bring it up in a conversation? This does not have to be your whole identity. Why you keep saying it? You want me to like accommodate you? Because you want me to just enable certain behaviors because I should think about where it stemmed from. I'm not doing that. Like, you're not a client. Are you paying me? No. No. The last person I dated, I was like, I cannot be your therapist. Like, I'm not. That's one thing I won't do. I'm not going to be your therapist. Unless we're talking about big ideas and stuff and you need help with that. But when it comes to trauma, I'm not here for it. And I've done my duty. I've dated enough people when I was willingly and able to be their therapist, and no, I'm just not doing that. I know right now what I want. I truly do. And I know the type of man I will marry. I truly do. And if I cannot find that man, then I am okay with being a single woman. I love my individuality. I love being single. Like, I enjoy it. And I also love dating. And yes, being a married woman is the big picture for me. I grew up in a married household. My siblings are married. My parents have been married for years. That is a big goal for me. But it doesn't take away from who I am as an individual if it just doesn't happen. And I am very okay with that. But it took me a while to get here, you know? Like, it took me a while to get here, but I love who I am as a single person. I love that I don't have to rely on a man right now, that I don't have to rely on someone to pay my bills. But best believe, if you want me to take you seriously, yeah, you have to have a provider mindset. You have to be generous. You have to be kind, not just nice, because I think nice is very performative. Like, you people are not nice when they are angry, but are you kind when you're angry? You should be kind when you're angry. I need kindness, okay? I need people who pray over your life, pray when things are bad, pray when things are good. Feel good about yourself because you know that God has you covered. Like, don't, every little thing that go on, you easily irritated. Relax, please. But right now, the season I'm in, I want to focus on being a mom. And my son deserves that. He is 4 years old. These are very important years for him. And I just truly want to focus on that. I don't want to take away from that time. And if a great guy comes along, he'll come along. And we're going to have fun. Because I always have fun with dating. I always have fun with dating. I don't really have any bad, terrible stories to tell y'all. All of it is a learning experience, and dating has always been my ministry. I love dating, okay? I love when I meet a dude on a Friday and we in love by Sunday, and for the next 3 weeks we just head over heels for each other, and then it dies out, and then I'm like, all right, we can end it now. But I have realized that the reason a lot of my relationships don't last long term is because I just don't feel ultra secure and ultra safe. And part of that is because I need someone who has a provider mentality. And it's because I've been a provider for many years, even over my own life, okay? I've been on my own, living on my own for 15 years almost. So I'm very accustomed to the type of life I have, and I need to be with someone who understands what financial responsibility looks like, and then how that trickles down into emotional awareness, how that trickles down into having the right people in your life. Like, you had to be there. Like, you got to know what that looks like, and the only way you can know is if you've lived it. So that's, yeah. I've been saying, I just was rambling, honey. But the makeup is done, and I'm still mad because what it looked like on the screen, nothing. And my battery dying, so perfect timing. Let me see if I turn off this light, if it looks better. It look a little better. It's a light beat anyway. It wasn't a heavy one. But let me just put on some mascara. Which, by the way, I have like 50 mascaras. And honestly, they all suck. Meet my mama coming here soon. She talking about some fine restaurant for us to eat at. Say less, Debs. See? Spoiled. I forgot to tell you I'm spoiled as hell. Parents still be giving me what I want. And I love that for me. I truly do. And you know what? It ain't spoiled. Someone told me the other day, you're not spoiled. You're loved properly. And that's exactly what I look for when I'm dating or when I'm in a relationship. I want to be loved properly. And my son deserves that too. He deserves to have a really good man in his life, because unfortunately I didn't give him the best one to begin with. So I don't mind screwing up once, but twice, honey. That ain't my ministry. We gonna get it right when we get another opportunity, honey. I really hate how my makeup be looking on this camera, because it just shows me that I don't know what I'm doing with the camera settings, or I might not know what I'm doing with my makeup. But my makeup be looking good though, just not on this damn camera. I'll show y'all later. Let me do my hair and get cute. Yeah, let me do my hair and get cute. Thanks y'all, bye. Thanks for stopping by the office. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.